Okay. This is a black hide and reveal. It's on a much larger canvas. It's being reused, and I'm hoping that I didn't over swipe again or dig around too much, but a lot of this is going to come off, and I'm going to keep adding black whenever I want to. But I wanted you to see the colors I used. I used abalone, I used pewter, I used this really rich dark purple blue periwinkle, lighter blue, and then the lightest blue. So I'm trying to get that kind of effect. Maybe when the cells open up, that they might have that kind of different, like, it'll look layered, and it might give it a three-dimensional or whatever look to it. Again, I always regret swiping just with white, so I might go over these just to correct them before I spin everything out, but so far so good, babies. I'm trying to show you as best I can what I'm putting on the spinner. And again, as you can see, I probably went too far. I'm going to try to add more black if all of this, too much of it gets spun off, but who knows? Things might look better than that. So that's awful. But you know what I mean? There's going to be areas where we're going to want to keep and other things, so let's keep the faith. You can see this first spin, I can see it's not really on here evenly, it's really tilted. Like even I can see that nothing's coming off this side, but this one's like, wow. But I'm gonna readjust, and I gotta say the cells, by going back and forth, not just going in one direction totally, I'm doing it very gentle this time, not huge, big spins, none of that. This is gonna be done with care. 7, 8, 9, 10, and ooh, let's see. Wow. Oh my god. There's still negative space on this thing. There's so much paint, not as much as usual, but a lot that still has to come off because of all the black. But luckily there's a lot of nice stuff that we can still have. I'm gonna look and play with it a little and see if I can't salvage. Oh, up close it's really something. Oh, that gold. I always regret not using it more. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna try to move this probably a little more into the middle and keep as much of everything else as I can. Let's see how I do this time. Now that we've got some of the other stuff going off, I'm amazed at how much we still have, and that we still have negative space here and there, and that the gold isn't being tipped off completely. I'm gonna do everything I can to try to save this and this and this. But then when I look up here, I'm thinking, I love it all. So let's try to keep whatever we can and try to make sure we remove the right amount of paint. So I'm doing a lot of tilting and spinning. I'm doing all I can to save what I can. But you know when you start tilting and it starts moving really fast and you can see the speed? Here you can see how it's running down real fast. I don't like that. Trying hard not to lose things, but at the same time, there's a lot of paint that has to come off or it will crack. It's just the way it is. So that's the thing about this. You've got to position what you do right in the middle, which I kind of did. I did it in an X, but I mean, I'm prepared for things to come off. Like, oh, this part can go. I'm fine as long as I don't lose all of this and this. And, you know, if I have to pick a side, it'll definitely be the left-hand side, even with that negative space, but I might have to lose some of that too, to get rid of the other stuff. One more try at the spinner. I'm not gonna lie, this could be my best hide and reveal yet, even though I deliberately did things I wasn't supposed to do. And I had too many cell activators. I should have just stuck with the gold. Anyway, wow! using 3 different blues and that pewter pigment along with, with the black, all of it. I don't mind these round things. These are the air bubbles that I blew out with my torch, and they kind of look pretty. They have little bits of color in them, so oh guys, I'm really happy. It's so rare, but I'm really happy with how this is coming. I know I'm not done yet, but I think I can salvage the bits I like with a little bit of sacrifice of the negative space, and that's what I'm gonna have to do. So one more. Okay, it's not moving anymore when I try to tilt, so the page is pretty much stationary. It feels light, and I didn't put a ton of pillow on because it was so thick, but also because I knew I was putting the black on. My biggest goal was to make sure I got to those colors, which I did by watching my girl, my main boss lady, Jessica. Look at what you inspired me to keep trying to do. I mean, I am delighted. I would be proud to tell people I painted this, and that is not how I am with my paintings. I mostly give them away for free. And there's a lot of people saying, don't do that. You're basically saying your paint's worthless, your painting's worthless. But that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to get people to know about it, to know that I do this. Maybe they'll go on my pitiful little channel here. There's some iridescence in here, and because of all these little white specks and the black negative space, this does have a kind of meteorite storm look about it. It's very spacey, and that's the thing about those multicolored, and they get bigger as you spin them out. These were little tiny dots themselves, these sort of freestanding, free-floating cells that you see. They were just air bubbles that I managed to spin around enough. There's a couple of areas where this white cell activator got on my nerves, but who knows? I can play with these things after. I gotta remember when I use white to always have something else on there with it. It's great when it was like getting us, like when I used the black, that's where I got black and gold is what gave me most of these cells. So, and the rest was me scooping and dragging, right? So that's what this is. But once you get those cells and they're really tiny, the more you spin, the bigger they get. And I wish this had less pewter and more gold, but look over here. It just makes this area look even more luxe and fantastic. And I've said this before, I really wish I'd just used gold as my cell activator, and black, of course. Because the black on black just gave you the cells with the black outline, so it managed to keep your negative space behind all these cells. This is what you see here, and what you see like over here, and other places where it's in between because the black was the cell activator. Anyway, oh my god, I'm so proud of this. Let's cross our fingers and hope it dries well. I know it's Mother's Day in Europe, so I'm gonna shout out to my mom and my dad, who I talked to today. Dad's getting his eyes fixed. He's terrified they're gonna take his license away. Oh my gosh, can't imagine that for him. But anyway, cheers to anybody who says anything on this channel, even if you're just laughing your ass off. That's okay. I am having fun being a student of this. This is the result that I am aiming for. Okay, guys? And thank you to everybody who's given me encouragement. Bye-bye.